The holidays are coming, and some of you may be spending them without your specific person or twin flame. Few of you may even have to spend the holidays all by yourselves. In this video, I'm going to talk about manifesting your SP or twin flame over the holidays. Did you know that the 12 days between Christmas Eve and Epiphany are a time period that is exceptionally well for manifesting? I will give you all the information you need on that in this video, plus further tips and tricks on how to get through the holidays or any other special event like birthdays without your SP or twin flame by your side. The first tip I would like to give you is don't put too much importance on these specific days. I know those days are special, yes, absolutely, but the problem is that we often think, wow, this would be an amazing opportunity for them to reach out. They haven't reached out in so long, but now it's the amazing time, so they probably reach out right now. And if you do that with light-hearted energy, then that's amazing. That can be manifesting as well, to get into that kind of light-hearted expectation. But if there's any kind of pressure behind that, then that is something that will actually keep the other person away. The more pressure we build up, well, everyone as you pushed out, they will sense that intuitively, and that kind of pressure will keep them away. So it is important to see the holidays as, a special time, but it is not the only time that they can reach out. If we get in this energy and then there's this heaviness about, oh my God, are they going to reach out now or not? Then that might be the thing that is keeping them away. So when they come into your mind, and that is completely fine, welcome them instead. Don't talk to them in your mind like, oh my God, I miss you so much, please reach out. Or even worse, getting into this kind of anger mentality. I am angry at them for not reaching out. All of these energies will be felt by them, even if it's on a subconscious mind. And nobody wants to reach out to a person when they can sense any kind of negative energy coming from. So when they pop into your mind, what you can do is instead greet them. Talk to them as if they were there. You know that your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between what is reality right now and what is not. So you can train your subconscious mind into believing, I am already in union with my person. I am in this relationship with my person. And once you have saturated your mind and your subconscious mind accepted this as true, then it can get pushed out. But it doesn't have to be a holiday to be that specific day they come. That is circumstances. And when manifesting, circumstances do not matter. So even if they don't reach out these holidays, it doesn't matter in the end. I mean, of course, you may feel a little bit disappointed in that moment, and that is okay, but in the end, it does not matter. When you're together, it won't matter did they reach out on Christmas in that specific year, or did they reach out on that specific Valentine's Day. All that matters is that ultimately they did reach out and you are together now. So when they pop into your mind, greet them, because you want to tell your higher self, the universe, spirit, however you want to call it, yes, I welcome the energy of this person. But if you get upset when that person comes into your mind, or even angry, then you're sending a signal to the higher part of you that is manifesting. That person means trouble. That person is making me feel bad. And then, of course, your subconscious mind will do everything to save you from that person that is always making you feel bad. And then, they're not going to reach out because that part of you is repelling them. But the second tip I have for you is, if you're sad, it is okay. Then if you have to cry, do that. Let that pain come out. Ultimately, we want to get into this energy of being lighthearted, but sometimes it does take a little time to get there. And sometimes it does take to let grief out of the system, and that is fine too, because manifesting can be a process of several steps, and we have to release the things within us that are holding our happy end back. So when all of that negative energy is within you, let it out. It is okay. It probably won't manifest them to come this Christmas, but sometimes, it's a marathon. And it does take a little while, but if you heal, if you let it out, if you don't oppress it, then that can help you to get with them ultimately when the time is ripe. And divine timing has nothing to do with a specific date. It is a specific energy that we hold. It is our assumptions. Our assumptions define when is the right time for union or manifesting that person to reach out. But if we hold a lot of pain within us, then releasing that may be one of the vital steps to get you a little bit closer to your end goal. Because if you oppress it again, if you think, I'm a spiritual person now, and my thoughts manifest, oh my God, I'm never allowed to have any negative thought, that is not good, because then that is still in your subconscious mind and it's festering there, and we don't want that. It is better to release it, to accept it in that moment, and then when all of that pain or grief is outside of you, then we can go to the next step where we learn more about the mental diet. But sometimes, grief is important. But talking about the mental diet, yes, the mental diet means don't pull yourself down with negative thoughts, but sometimes those negative thoughts can be very important because they may show you exactly what your limiting beliefs are. What you can do is make a list with all of the negative thoughts that come up, and then once you feel a little bit better, past the holidays maybe, take that list out, and then you know exactly what limiting beliefs are keeping your person away. I do have a video on how to make your own affirmations with finding out your limiting beliefs. They're custom-made affirmations. You will find a link to that video in the description box below, and then you can use that technique to really, really work on those negative assumptions that come up. So yes, a mental diet, it is important, absolutely, in order to manifest. But again, maybe you're not there. It's just important to watch your thoughts a little. If they are on auto repeat and you're pulling yourself down with your thoughts further and further and further, then I would advise do something else. Try to get you out of there. But still look at what thoughts do come up. And if there's emotions with that attached, let it out. My third tip is actually manifesting your person. Already said in the beginning that you can visualize being with them. You can have the inner conversations with your person. You can script maybe a little scene about how they text you or reach out or call you on Christmas Day. Of course, you can use affirmation, whatever technique you like. I do have a playlist with different techniques. You will find that playlist in the description box below. No technique is better than another. It is just pure preference. I personally like to script. Other people like different techniques, and that is completely fine. It is pure preference. But come up with a scene or affirmations that would hint that you have your desire. And then you repeat that. If it's a short scene, then you repeat that in your mind on autopilot. It is best to do that maybe in some kind of an almost meditative state, or right before you go to sleep, or right after you woke up. Repeat your scene on autopilot over and over and over again. And since Christmas is really soon, don't just do it like a minute or two. Really get into it, roll up your sleeves, do the work. However, I have to warn you, if you are like in this really, really negative energy, you need to remember your dominant belief is going to manifest. And you may not have enough time if you start the day before to clear out all of the limiting beliefs. In that case, I would advise you to do something else that gives you fun and just think, okay, maybe I'm not going to be able to manifest my person within a day. I'm still going to do the work and I'm going to manifest them, but it doesn't have to be today. But if you are in a good space and there is no big pain or fear that they're not going to reach out, then it might be absolutely possible to get them reach out on Christmas or on whatever holiday is coming up for you once you watch this video. Maybe it's a birthday. If you're watching this at a later time and the holiday is still way off, then you can start right now. Script your scene or visualize your scene and do it daily, just a couple of minutes, or your affirmations. Yes, it is absolutely possible to manifest someone reaching out on a specific date, but we have to saturate our mind first. It has to become the dominant belief, and that may take some time. Unless, of course, you already are in a very good state, then it can happen pretty fast. My fourth tip is that if negative emotions come up, work with them, write them. You can find some rituals for yourself to clear that. Maybe you know about Reiki and you can give yourself a Reiki session. I have even seen videos on YouTube of people giving Reiki on YouTube, and you can just connect to that energy. You can do that. You can ground yourself by putting your feet flat on the ground, and then when you inhale, you imagine you draw energy from the universe into your ground chakra through all of your body, and then you release negative energy into the ground. And then when you exhale, you pull energy from the ground, earthing yourself. Get that energy throughout all of your body and then release it on your ground chakra. And you do that a couple of times with the intent of clearing your chakra, with grounding yourself, balancing yourself. Another technique you could do is smile. I know it sounds so silly, but if you smile for several minutes, it doesn't even have to be pretty. Just get the tips of your mouth up. Then your brain will think, oh, there is a smile. What's going on? That must be something good. Let's release some happy hormones. So you can get yourself out of some situations just by forcing yourself to smile. Even better, laugh. If you find those hilarious cat videos on Instagram or TikTok or whatever it is, if it makes you laugh, it does release happy hormones that can take the edge off a little. Of course, that is a quick fix. It is not really fixing the problem underneath, but if it's getting really painful, that is something you could do. Another thing you could do is Ho'oponopono. You think about the situation that is upsetting you, and then you repeat the phrases, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. If you want more information on that, you will find a lot of information on this on YouTube, and I also have a guided meditation on Ho'oponopono. You will find that in the description box below, and it is specific about releasing negative emotions when it comes to a love interest or twin flame. You could also use the time on finding some guided meditations on YouTube in general, maybe on healing your inner child. After all, this time, the 12 days between Christmas Eve and Epiphany, are an amazing time in order to heal and cleanse yourself. And I'm going to talk about those 12 amazing days in a bit. Just stay tuned. Another thing you could do to release some stuff is you write it down. You could write a letter to your person, but not with any cursing or negative stuff. You don't want to yell at them by writing or use any negative things, because that could go into the direction of black magic. You don't want to do that. But you could write something like, my love, insert name. I release all the pain. I release the doubts. I leave that behind now. I only have pure positive thoughts about you. I trust in this connection. And you just write down everything, custom made, of course, that what you want to release, and then you can burn that. Please be cautious. What I always do, if I don't do it often, but if I do that ritual, I often do it on New Year's Eve, I have to say, not every year, but sometimes I do, that I write down some things I want to leave in the old year, and then I burn that. What I always do is I have like a frying pan or something like that is, can take some heat, and have water in there just to make sure you don't want to burn down the house. And then I do have my little paper, and I put that in a bowl and in the frying pan, so I can safely release that stuff by writing it down. It's important to do it with intention, though. You can write it like this: I intend to release, or I intend to leave behind, and then name those things, and that can be a little ritual that can help you. My fifth tip is, before you stare at your phone all day waiting for them to text or call, make different plans. Maybe you do have friends that are also by themselves. You can call them and do something with them and ask them if you can come over. You may have other people who love you where you are welcome. Some kind of charity organization. Everything to take your mind away from being alone. Give back. That could be another option. There's probably someone in your proximity who is alone, him or herself, and who would like to have some amazing company. Nowadays, everything is connected to social media. Maybe you can connect to some people there. Of course, safety first. So instead of going to a stranger's home, maybe you can meet a couple of people in your area, meet them online, and then go to some restaurant or bar and just try to have some and try to meet new amazing people and welcome those into your lives rather than staying alone, unless you want that. Nothing wrong with that. But if you don't want to be alone, you don't have to. Another thing you could do is get away for a couple of days. Book a short trip. I know if you're watching this now, the day before Christmas, it might be a little bit too short, but a little tiny trip, and actually it could just be the next town. Book a nice hotel, because sometimes it really helps to get out of your known territory and to go somewhere else, because when you're at home, then your brain is wired in a specific way that it may be easier to break some thought patterns when you are in different surroundings. And it doesn't have to be far. It really could be just the next town, and they have this amazing small bed and breakfast or something like that. Because sitting in a new area, it does something to you. And that could be another tiny tip. My 6th tip is have spiritual holidays. And of course, spirituality does not necessarily mean talk to angels, read tarot cards. No, spirituality is a mindset. Another thing is spirituality also means to accept other people's wishes. So if your person decided not to spend the holidays with you, and if they decide not to reach out, accept that. Spirituality does not mean to try to manipulate or force the other person into doing something or give you something that they're not ready to give at this point. Spirituality does not mean pressuring the other person or being mad at them. Spirituality means to accept a situation and make the best out of it. Even though, keep in mind, we don't want to pressure the other person, but you can still manifest it. But true change does not happen on the outside by trying to convince the other person. It happens on the inside. So reprogram your mind. And I already gave you a tip of do your meditations, do your scripting, do your little rituals, do something you can do just for yourself. Spirituality means not fighting circumstances on the outside. It is about accepting and getting into the flow. And as I said before, the 12 days between Christmas Eve and Epiphany are amazing. So what is special about those days? When I wanted to translate the German word for those 12 days, I noticed that in America or in English, you actually call them the 12 days between Christmas Eve and Epiphany. In German, we have a different word for them that doesn't include a number, because in some tradition, they actually start on December 21st. That is the winter solstice. And in other traditions, those days start on Christmas Eve. However, those days are a perfect time to connect within ourselves. It is a good time to cleanse your energy or to cleanse the energy of your house, with Palo Santo or something like that. It's a time in between, like twilight. It's the in-between time. And why is it an in-between time? Well, the astrological year, it has 365 days. But if you have 12-month cycles or 12-moon cycles, that would not add up to 365. It would add up to 354 days. So in between, there is the 12 days and nights that are the in-between. It is the additional time. It's a difference between having 12 moon cycles and 1 sun cycle. And also, when you are on a twin flame journey, the sun, of course, represents the divine masculine and the moon, the divine feminine. So it's an amazing time to find that inner balance within yourself in those really special days or nights. So let's talk about those 12 days. First of all, they're typically 12 days, and they can symbolize the 12th month. So on each day, you can do a little ritual for that specific month. The first night is for the first month, January, and so on. But let's talk about the 12th night in general. The first of those 12 nights, it's for your roots. It is also very good to heal karma or wounds when it comes to your family, the one you were born into. It is also the night or day where you can strengthen your own roots. It's also very nice to honor Mother Earth on the first day. And some tradition is to actually get some food outside for birds or little animals and thank Mother Earth by that. The second night is connected to your higher self, the creator within you, so very connected to manifesting. It's the perfect night to meditate and to connect to your higher self and your spiritual leaders. The third night is about opening your heart. It is the perfect time to heal wounds connected to the heart, love. So it is time to go within yourself and ask yourself, what would make my heart glow up? What would make me happy? And then write it down and try to do that from then on. So the fourth night would be connected to April. And April is known for not knowing what it wants. Here, spring and winter clash. And in this night, there might be a little clash between your old thoughts and beliefs and the new ones. And now you can fix what didn't happen too well in the 3 nights before. If things come up, then the fourth night would be a really good time to dig a little deeper in that specific area. The fifth night is more about friendship and also about soul connection, but very important also about the connection to yourselves. Are there things that you haven't forgiven yourself? Are you your own best friend? Do you treat yourself with love and kindness? Are you saying yes to yourself? Now it's the time to look at your past year and see what you have done good, what kind of achievements you have gathered, but also what didn't work out too well, and then forgive yourself when it comes to that. The sixth night is about cleansing again. What do you want to leave in the old year? Which old fears or habits or energies are no longer good for you? So you can write those down, and then, as I said earlier, you can burn them, or you can turn them into positive affirmations. Instead of, I have problems trusting, it could be, I now have an open heart and now only attract people that are trustworthy. And that could be an affirmation that you create out of that. The seventh night is perfect to look into the future. The night before the sixth was more about clearing the past. Now it's about thinking about what you want. It's like you cleared the old furniture out of your apartment and now you can replace it with new ones. What are your goals now? Where do you want to go this year? What do you want to do this year? What do you want to manifest? Yeah, it's again stripping the old away to make room for the new. And one ritual would be to take a shower, take a bath with intent to really clear all of the old energies from the last year. So the eighth night is actually New Year's Eve, and here the new year is born. It's important to have fun that day. It could be with people you love, but also with yourself. Watch your favorite movie or do something that you enjoy. Take a walk in the quiet, peaceful nature. Doesn't matter how you celebrate it, if it's loud or quiet. Just make sure you enjoy it. You do something that makes you feel good. Of course, it's also a good time to wish well to others, to wish them a happy new year. And also your person, of course. That's a perfect night to have them in your thoughts, but not with the longing or missing, but with the anticipation of what is going to come between you and your person in the new year, because now you know about manifesting, right? So now you can actually make it work. It's all up to you. The 9th night is for inner peace. It's your own inner center. It is becoming clear on what you want. Again, another amazing night to meditate and to center yourself. Take deep breath and then spread your light. The 10th night is about visions and epiphanies you have. Today you can practice more to think positive. How do you think? Observe that. How are you using your power? How are you acting? What could be improved? You can visualize a life now that feels good so that it can come into your life. The 11th night is also pretty deep. Now we're talking about letting go of old stuff and saying goodbye. But it's also the night where you can think about, what am I doing here on earth? What is my purpose? What is my goal? What do I want to do on this earth? So it's not just so much about the next year, but it's a bit wider. What do I want to do with my life? What do you want to free yourself from? What's important to you? How do you want to live from now on? What holds you back? What do you want to free yourself from? The 12th night, the last one, it's about mercy and the things that didn't work too well in the previous 12 nights. And now you can dig a little deeper there, and maybe some issues came up, and that's the night to really think more about these and clear some thoughts or things that came up in the last nights. Maybe in the last nights you were thinking about several things, or you had amazing ideas. That's the perfect night to really get into that. Did some negative feelings or emotions come up in the last nights? Well, today it's the perfect time to clear what came up in the last 12 days and to hold your course. Well, on the 6th, January 6th, this portal, you can say, closes. However, of course, you can always manifest. Okay, it is not a specific time. It's not like, oh, I have to do it on these days. If you maybe have some amazing time and you don't have time to do the 12-day ritual, then do it another time. Okay, you can always take the time and manifest. It is a good time. It is a good opportunity if you are by yourself, or maybe you are surrounded by family people. You don't have the time to do it then. Do it another time. You can always manifest. That is very important to me. Manifesting has nothing to do with specific dates. Please remember, the universe, God, spirit, however you want to call it, only gives you a heart's desire if it is possible for you to achieve it. The universe would never give you a heart's desire and say, oh, sorry, can't have that. It is our old programming, our old limiting beliefs and assumptions, outdated assumptions, that are holding our manifestation away. So use the time to clear those. It has a reason why your person is not with you right now. If they don't reach out or they choose not to spend Christmas or the holidays with you, it has a reason. But the reason is not so much within them. It is something within you that chose the timeline where that circumstance played a role. But that is okay, because you have the power to change within yourself and then switch the timeline to get another more wanted circumstance. If you need help with that, of course you can reach out. And I would like to remind you again that I did post the links of the most important videos and tips and tricks in this description box below, so you can start right there. And whatever holiday or birthday is coming up for you now that made you watch this video, I do wish you all the best with all of my heart. And you can find me on social media. If you need my help, you can reach out, you can book a coaching. My contact information is below. And I do see you in another video or in personal coaching. Until then, I wish you all of the very best. Okay, now bye bye.